Hello, I want to today go over what happens when you lose a segment and then how you recover it. So here we've got a running array. If you look under GP under segment configuration, you can see that it's running. Select start from GP under segment under configuration. So what we have is here you have the master, standby master, and then you have the primary and the primary, and then the mirror and the mirror, right? So we got a primary mirror on each host. In this case, it's STW2, SW1. So we got two segment hosts and two primaries and two mirrors. So let's what I will do is let's go ahead and take down one of these. All right. So what do we have running here? So let's not remove anything. Let's I just wanted to show you that it's running. So yeah, we'll just type it. So you see all the processes running. 51 is a mirror, and 51,000 is a mirror. 5,000 or 50,000 is a primary. Okay. It actually even says that if you notice the primary, and it says mirror, so you can tell what they're running as. So we've got two segment instances running, a mirror and a primary. So what if all of a sudden the system dies for whatever reason? Somebody hits the plug, somebody trips over a wire, somebody just does a shutdown like this, and shut down. So what we're going to do is we're going to lose a primary and a mirror, but the system should be able to continue running. You will get a couple errors. The first error that it runs into will be when it tries to access that, and I'll show you it actually hit that. So let's see what it looks like now. So now the system is gone, and so SDW, let's see which one's up. Let's look. See SDW, MDW, and then SDW1. So we got anything on SDW2 is gone. So this one and that one are gone. So let's look and see what it looks like now. Well, that's weird, huh? If you look, see SDW2, but it still says up. It's not down. Nothing's failed over. Well, that's strange, isn't it? So what it turns out is it won't fail over unless something actually forces it to look at that segment. Then it will actually have a timeout and you'll get that error. So if for some reason a segment goes down but it comes back up before the next access to that segment, you actually won't get an error. So let's force an error. Let's do a create table. I have one in here. Create table. I'm going to create a table and see what happens. So we're just creating a nothing table. Public.test. It's just sort of hanging, isn't it? There is a segment timeout error that it has to run. It actually waits for the segment to come back. It's going to time out, and it's interesting. So let's see what we have now. Let's see if that actually worked. If you notice, now that we've actually tried to access it, now we have a D. That means it's down. And we have a D. And what do those D's correspond to? This STW2 hosts, right? So what happened is, so this is supposed to be a mirror right here, but right here it says mirror, but it's an acting primary. Okay, so this instance came up and it's now the primary. Okay. So we just continue working, but a lot of times, sometimes you'll get the error, sometimes you won't. So anyway, you'll get an error saying segment, not all segment resources are available, is essentially what it's going to tell you. Okay, well now that we have this down, how do we recover this? Well, get out of here, and you do a GP recover seg. Now you can do a GP recover seg -R and have it automatically fix things too, but a lot of times you want to do a GP recover seg and then you want to actually put it back as the acting primary. So let's do just a GP recover seg, and it will ask you a couple of questions. Oh, actually, if we did that, this would fail. The reason is we still don't have SDW2. All right, so let's start SDW2 because we don't have an SDW2 right there, and play virtual machine. So now we're going to bring up SDW2. We can't do recover seg if the server is not there. Later, don't care. Take a minute here. I'll try to speed this up when I edit this. I need some carnival music right here. Alright, now the instance is actually up. So now we can go back here and recover that segment to it. If you had run it before, it would have given you an error, cannot access SDW2, which would have been true. So now we should be able to access SDW2. Actually, if you want to test that first, of course, do a ping. SDW2. Yep. So it can access it. Now let's do a recover seg. GP recover seg. This is how you recover that segment. And say yes, I want to continue. These are the two that are going to be recovered. So it tries to stop them if they're running, which they aren't because I killed them. Okay. Starting mirrors. So it copies pretty quick because really there's not much in these. This is all standard system with no data, user data at this point. So, done updating primaries, processes, results. So it looks like it updated configuration. Everything should be up. Let's get back in and look and see what it says. Okay, so what do we have? Well, all of our segments are up. They all have U's now instead of D. But if you look, we still have a primary. This is and a mirror. So this should be a primary and acting as a mirror, and vice versa with this one. So these two middle ones are incorrect. They're not running correctly. They're running and they're synchronized, but if you lose a host, you could be in trouble. So you want to rebalance where things are. You run a GV recover seg -R. Control C, actually. That is in, so -R. Now what that's going to do is rebalance, and it's going to put the primaries as the primaries and the mirrors as mirrors. Now all it really does is it shuts them down and starts them up correctly. So this takes a little bit of time. Might have to actually fast forward this piece. It's a little slow, but it actually almost takes more time to do this than it does to actually recover the instance, because all the recovery does is it looks to see where the two databases are, and then it synchronizes them, which, because we weren't loading, we weren't doing anything hard at all, it basically didn't take any time. This actually takes longer, shutting down and restarting. This is not something you want to do when it's busy. This would be something you do at an off time or a maintenance time. I have to fast forward this too. Alright, looks like it's up. Let's get back in. Okay, now, if you notice, everything's up. And then it's where it should be. So, your primaries are primaries, your mirrors are mirrors, and so on. So everything's up and everything's back where it should be. So, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. But this is how you recover segments in Greenplum. Thanks for watching.